know how else to say it, but Jonathan Gannon scares the hell out of me. Dallas still stinks. You're by the way, King Dingbat here, and I hope everybody's having a great day. I hope you guys are doing well, and I hope that I'm going to actually be able to film this video. This is the 4th time I'm filming this video because somebody either keeps calling me or texting me, but I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Now, we have all been pumped up about the Eagles offseason. We know that the Eagles offseason has been fantastic. Even our division rivals have to admit the Eagles have had a fantastic offseason. Howie Roseman right now, you got to give him GM of the year right now. Right now. It's still early, but you got to give GM of the year right now. Okay? It's Howie Vision. We're all just living in it. Sometimes it could be awful. Sometimes it could be really great. Right now, it's fantastic. It's like we're all at the beach. All right? We're all at Howie Roseman's beach house right now. Howie Vision has been wonderful. But Howie's great offseason is putting a lot of pressure on certain people. One Jalen Hurts and one Jonathan Gannon. Now, we're going to get into it in a second, but before we do that, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe for daily Eagles content, NFL content. You don't want to miss any of it, okay? If you're as excited about the all season as I have been, if you're excited about this upcoming season, you don't want to miss it. So definitely subscribe. And if you've been subscribed for a while, just double check, double moonwalk check. Make sure you're still subscribed. YouTube's acting all the gagoots, and they keep unsubscribing people, so just double check. Now, like I said, I think Howie Roseman has had a fantastic offseason. I have been a very critical person of Howie Roseman, and I know there are people who are waiting for the apology video to come, but it's not time yet. It's not time. That, however, doesn't mean we can't give the man credit for what he's done this offseason. It's been fantastic, and I really have no complaints other than getting Derek Barnett and bringing him back. I thought that was a useless move. Just going to be honest with you. I hate that move. But it is what it is. And as we know, all of a sudden your offense with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, probably one of the top 3 offensive lines in football, a decent run game, great tight end. The pressure's on Jalen Hurts, right? Jalen Hurts has to go out and he has to perform. Now, here's the thing. I think he will. I think he's going to. I have no reason to believe on Jalen Hurts' makeup, on everything we've learned about him, what kind of leader he is, what kind of worker he is, what kind of confidence he has, what kind of strength physically and mentally he has. I have no doubt that he's not going to go out there and throw at least 25 touchdown passes. Okay, I think he's going to go out and have a great year. And I think he's going to end up being the franchise quarterback. Now, some people don't believe in him because they don't think he has a big arm. I get it. He doesn't have the biggest arm in the world. But that doesn't mean he still can't be a great quarterback, okay? And shout out to Jakib Media, okay? Shout out to Jakib Media. Because Jakib Media, great show over there, great guys over there. I love all their programs, especially my man Dan Cilio. Shout out to him. No question. Shout out to Xander also. But they had Andy Reid on. And Andy Reid was talking about Jalen Hurts. Okay. And this is Andy Reid. Andy Reid's a Hall of Fame coach. All right. Andy Reid has been around a long time. I trust his eye when it comes to the quarterback position. And this is what Andy had to say about Jalen Hurts. He says, it says, Andy Reid endorses Jalen Hurts as quarterback number 1. He's willing to work hard and he wants to be great. And listen, you have to want it to be able to you have to want it if you're going to work hard enough to get it, right? And he says the one thing you got there is a guy that's willing to work hard and wants to be great, Andy Reid said to Jakib Media Sports on Tuesday. He sincerely wants to do well. That's the foundation. And with the coaching he's getting, that's going to take place. Everybody just has to hang with him. And Nick, talk about Nick Sirianni, will deflect some stuff that you have to deflect from the public until it feels like he's grounded all the way. Then he flies from there. So shout out to Jakib Media. I'm going to put the link to that interview in the description. But Andy Reid is right. And I love how Andy Reid said sometimes you have to deflect certain things from a young quarterback. Nobody did that more than Andy Reid. Andy Reid did that better than anybody. And to the point where it actually annoyed Like, it literally annoyed the press. They hated it. Andy Reid did that, and it annoyed them. But he's right. And I think Andy's right. I think Jalen Hurts has the ability, because he has the work ethic and he has all the intangibles, to be great. He's just got to go out there and do it. So there's a lot of pressure on him. But I don't think it hurts him. Iron sharpens iron. And I think it'll make him a better player. So I'm expecting, I expect Jalen Hurts to be at least 25 passing touchdowns. At least 25 passing touchdowns, okay? But to me, a guy that I'm more worried about than Jalen Hurts even is Jonathan Gannon, the defensive coordinator, okay? He gave an interview today. And I got to tell you, some of the stuff he says scares the crap out of me. It just does, Jonathan Gannon, this is what he said, right? I don't get it. You know what I mean? But here's what Gannon said. Jonathan Gannon said, "My number one concern or goal is to make sure we're playing good enough football to help our team win games." He reiterates his common philosophy that he doesn't care about stats. And this is what scares me. Plans to play similar coverages as last year. Okay? That worries me somewhat. It worries me somewhat because there were times he had his corners way back and he brought no pressure. And you go out and you look at the Kansas City game, you look at the Tampa Bay game, you look at the Oakland game, or the Vegas game. You look at some of those games, you look at the Chargers game. When they played a decent quarterback, these quarterbacks were throwing for over 80% completion percentages. Over 80%. At what point does Jonathan Gannon say, listen, this guy is 15 of 16 with 2 touchdowns so far in the first half. I've got to try something. I've got to bring something. I've got to blitz. I got to do something to knock this quarterback on his ass. I mean, I'm serious. You know how many times, and one of the worst sights I hate seeing when it comes to Eagles games, one of the things I hate the worst is when a quarterback is in a white jersey against the Eagles or white pants, and they have no markings on it. There is no dirt. There's no scuff marks. They are clean. And if they're clean, that means the defense is not getting to them. And I saw it too much. And if he plays with the same aggressiveness, we're in trouble. Okay, I would like to see more man to man. I really would. I prefer more man, and I like to see more press at the line of scrimmage. But he doesn't do it. He had his guys 10, 12 yards back. And then you get no pressure with your front. Now, he could just be saying that, and the plan could be to bring a lot more heat and a lot more pressure. Now, if he does that, I think he'll be okay. To me, it's all about pressure. When you look at the defenses today and the offenses today, and how the NFL is built, it's geared to help and make sure offenses succeed. And really, the only thing that defenses have, in my opinion, anymore to be the real true negator of that offensive advantage is you have to get pressure on the quarterback. You have to hit the quarterback. I firmly grew up in the Buddy Ryan era, okay? I grew up with that 46 defense. I grew up with Buddy, then Bud Carson, then Jim Johnson, okay? Those guys believed in pressure. You get to the quarterback, okay? And that's what I believe. I believe that then. I believe it more so today. And sometimes, to me, Jonathan Gannon sounds like, I'll just, as long as they score, as long as we hold them to some points and make some stops, and we'll be okay. I don't like it. I think a passive defense does not work. So to me, when I look at who's my biggest concern, it isn't Jalen Hurts. It's Jonathan Gannon. It's Jonathan Gannon. Okay, he's the dude I'm worried about. So we're going to see. I can't blame Howie. I can't blame this front office. They went out there. They got him a double-digit sack guy. They got him a gigantic defensive tackle. They got him a great linebacker in Kobe Dean. They got one in free agency. They went and they got him another cornerback in James Bradbury. The only thing we can talk about is maybe safety or another defensive lineman. But listen, so far Brandon Graham looks good that he's back, they said. So that's a good sign. And as far as safety goes, Jonathan Gannon said this when it came to the safeties. Jonathan Gannon says, production. When asked why he's comfortable with the safeties on the roster, he said, everything I look for in a safety, all those guys have those qualities. That sounds great. But are they good enough? That's going to be the question. I personally think they're good enough to hold it 1 year. I don't know franchise-wise. You can have Anthony Harris long-term. I don't know if Epps is a long-term guy. But I definitely think they can at least hold it down. But it's going to come down to, is Jonathan Gannon getting to the quarterback? Is he bringing pressure on the quarterback? And if he's not bringing pressure, and you have these quarterbacks who are upright and have no dirt on their jerseys, no grass stains on their jerseys because they're not getting hit, and they're getting the ball out at 2.5 seconds or whatever it is, you're going to have a problem. You're going to have a problem. The defensive line helps the secondary. The secondary helps the defensive line. It all goes hand in hand. But they've got to get to the quarterback more. You cannot allow 80% completion percentages. And I don't know. He makes me uncomfortable. We're going to find out. There's no excuse for him for sure. But my biggest fear is going into the season, Jonathan Gannon, the defensive coordinator. Now, maybe there's still another plan, right? Maybe they're going to go after Jesse Bates or Chuck Clark or one of those safeties. Listen, that sounds great. And if I don't think the Eagles are going to do that now, I don't think that's going to happen. But if it does happen, I think it's going to be more around the trade deadline. But even if you have those guys out there, if you're not getting to the quarterback, if you're not getting pressure, if the quarterback's not worried, you got a problem. You got a problem. You have to find a way to get pressure on the quarterback. Otherwise, you're going to have 80% completion percentage, and I'm going to go completely nuts. Too many teams were able to just move the ball on the Eagles. And a lot of times, the defense didn't even have a chance. The front four didn't even have a chance to get pressure because the quarterback could get rid of the ball so quickly because everybody was open with little, because they're playing so far back. A little 2-yard pass here turns to 8, 9, 10 yards. And you can't have that. You got to play much more aggressive in the front, in your back end. This whole defense has to be more aggressive. And I hope that he understands that. And I hope that he is not talking about aggressiveness because that's what's important. But you know what? We're going to find out. I should be trying to do a live stream tomorrow. I got home a little late to do one today. I got to take my cat to the vet. He's laying over there sick. The father of all the little kitties. But he's just been a little bit he just hasn't been eating too much. So I'm going to go make sure he's okay. He's acting okay, but he's just not eating a lot. So anyways, I should be back and I'll be home for lunch so I can do a live stream, and I'll definitely try to do one. With that said, take care. Talk to you later, of course. Don't be a dingbat. And remember, it's Howie Vision. We're all just living in it. Did anybody watch Better Call Saul yesterday? Holy crap. What an episode. What a great episode of Better Call Saul. I did not expect what happened. I did not see it coming. If you've never watched that series, but you've watched Breaking Bad, let me suggest, go watch Better Call Saul. Absolutely fantastic. Now, the only problem is we've got to wait till July 11th, I think, for it to start up again. How are they going to expect me to wait? I got to wait for Better Call Saul. I got to wait for football season. I'm going nuts here. I'm going completely nuts. I can't be waiting for all these things. I need things to happen now. Denzel Washington, out.